All right, the game of golf will be without its big reaction. Nationally syndicated radio talk show host from Fox Sports Radio, Philly Inquirer columnist Stephen A. Smith, and criminal defense attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland. Guys, good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Right for the sponsors to pull?
You know what? I had said this 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again. If there is an issue with the marriage, that is why they hired Tiger. They hired Tiger to be a perfect spokesperson. In their eyes, they don't see that what they hired him for is happening.
And you do contracts. Just about everybody's contract has a moral clause in there at some
Yes, it
capacity,
does.
so they have the right to get out.
Yeah, they have a right to get out.
Should they?
I think they should. I think it was right for Nike, on the other hand, to be consistent with their brand and say, we're not pulling out. We actually want to keep Tiger. Accenture, that's different. But with Nike, if Nike were to pull out too, I would have said, wait a minute, that's not what you customarily do.
All right, you were on my radio show, and the issue of race has come into this in some columns and some commentary and stuff. And you weighed in on this with some pretty strong statements. I got a pretty strong reaction.
Yep.
And the fact that Tiger Woods was dating white women, and I read these comments. Why does people even notice this?
Oh, please. In America, people.
Please?
Well, what I mean by that is simple. In the black community, one of the things that black women continuously lament is the fact that a lot of successful black men end up marrying white women. It's not that they have something against white women. It's that they're looking at a black man and they're saying, why are we not good enough for you? And all I'm saying is, I'm not a black woman. But I can understand where they're coming from, because what they're saying is that, you know what, you've been raised by black women, you were brought into this world.
If a white person said they only wanted to date white people, what would they be called in this society?
What would they be called in this society? I don't know, because I don't have a problem with it.
Well, let me use another example. If the parents of a child didn't want their child to date or marry an African American,
that would be I'm saying.
Wait a minute, what would that be called in society?
That would be called? Somebody would call them a racist. That would be called
racism.
Somebody will call them a racist.
So is that racism what you're describing?
In terms of what black women feel about Tiger Woods, I don't believe it is.
What's the difference?
The reason, because what you're talking about is a society that continuously feels like they're looked upon. And I don't want to say inferior, because we certainly transcend beyond that.
So it's okay in one case, but not okay in another.
I'm not saying it. No. Here you go again, trying to get me into a different subject. What I'm saying to you, I'm answering your question. I'm telling you, black women sit there and they lament the fact that successful black men end up marrying someone other than them. That's not speaking against a different race of people.
I just hope that I thought we were beyond this. I hope that we should be beyond it. It doesn't matter. White, black, Hispanic, who cares at this point, right? As a constitutional attorney, there are a lot of civil rights actions I take. You want everyone to be treated equal. It shouldn't be an issue.
But here's the problem.
If you don't want to be treated unequal, don't talk about it.
But here's the problem. Again, I don't have a problem. If I see a black man with a white woman, it doesn't affect me. If I see a white man with a black woman, it doesn't affect me. But I'm saying that a black woman, if she's looking at a black man and questioning her value to him, I'm not a black woman. I don't have a right to say.
Why would that matter to anybody? Whose business is it?
I don't think it's none of anyone's business per se.
But you're telling me you think it is people's, but people are reacting negatively.
I'm saying that if you are a black woman in a black community, what you're saying, you're pointing to the fact that
Why is that not racial, if not racist?
Because they're talking about how they feel they're not good enough for that black man. That's a problem that goes on within the African American community.
But I don't think it's anything about being not good enough. I think that's something now that's bringing the community into a separate area where you guys have made so much stride. Now you're saying the community is saying, well, we're different. No, you're not different. If he chose a white woman, it's just a woman. If we continue to talk separate, then we're never going to be together.
If you consider things from an historical perspective, in terms of black people and the plights that we've had to overcome, all I'm trying to say is that a black woman sits around and you watch, you pound that pavement, you raise that black man, you try to help him to become successful, and then all of a sudden he gets with someone other than them. Black women are going to feel insecure. It's not racist for her to feel insecure.
We're not judging people by the content of their character. We're looking. You're describing a situation where you are judging people by the color of their skin.
And I'm saying to you, you can debate it till the cows come home. Black women everywhere feel that way. When they see a black man married to a white woman, And they obviously have a problem with it, by and large, not everybody.
I hear what he's saying, but I feel it's unfortunate, and I think it's an unfortunate situation that in the year 2009, 2009, that this is an issue.
And I'm saying get over it because it's an issue that has always been there and it's always been there.
I want to
ask you, you say you leave either my radio show or my TV show, and you take heat for being on with me.
Yes,
Why?
I do. Well, because, you know, by and large, the African-American community consists of a lot of liberals. There's a lot of conservative blacks that, you know, don't get a lot of ink or don't get a lot of airtime. People don't realize that they're
they get, but my friends that are conservative in the African-American community are excoriated.
Yes.
And called every name in the book.
And you know, and I am one of those people, a registered independent.
And you get called...
and I get called a sellout. You know, I get called a sellout, to be honest with you, for showing up in this building. I get called a sellout for saying that I agree with Sean Hannity, that actually Rush Limbaugh makes sense sometimes. Don't even bring up Mark Levin, who I absolutely love. I'll be on national television. This is my favorite radio host in the country.
Well, what am I, chopped liver?
You're good. You're good. You're a good second place. You're a good second place. But Mark Levin, the great one, is Mark Levin. What I'm saying to you is this.
I don't know who gave him the name the great one. Me.
You can give it to him. Well, he earned it.
He earned it. I did.
I listen to him all the time. I love the guy.
Thank me.
But the point is, the black community looks at the Republican Party, and it's not your fault, but the Republican Party has not done a great job of really disseminating their message.
I'm a conservative.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what?
Thank you.
For a lot of people, Republican and conservative is the same.
All right, guys.
Even though it's not accurate.
Good to see you. Great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. And it's time now to check in with Greta Van Susteren, a sneak peek of what Greta has in 21 minutes from now. And I know it's good. I know it's